Saímos de uma apresentação que veio a seguir a outra, em que se fala de intercolaboração, e agora vamos entrar numa outra que tem que ver com hortas, mais uma vez. De facto, parece estar a implementar-se esta ideia de que uns com os outros precisamos... Há assim uma certa interdependência, longe vão outros tempos em que isso podia não ser muito evidente.
Sim, o que é importante aqui é mostrar que, ou seja, nós falamos do coletivismo culinário, mas dentro da brigada, mas normalmente há sempre uma competição e não há coisas que passam para o outro lado. Às vezes os chefes e os cozinheiros vão beber copos a seguir à coisa, mas há sempre assim uma coisa fechada. E o que está a acontecer agora é muito encorajador, e vimos com o Kid Abril, é que a malta mais jovem está realmente a criar pontes e a lançar reptos e desafios uns aos outros de uma maneira positiva e construtiva. E, sobretudo, Lisboa está a voltar a ser cosmopolita nesse bom sentido. Ou seja, outra vez, criolidade, mistura de identidades, mas cosmopolitanismo é um conceito também importante e que se está a afirmar na cidade, e a nossa cena culinária está a ser cada vez mais enriquecida justamente por estas contribuições que estão a vir de fora, ou que pelo menos estão a ser estimuladas por movimentos idênticos que vêm de fora. E o Shay é mais uma daquelas aquisições que se veio juntar aqui à nossa banda, tal como estávamos a falar há bocado da Margot, ou seja, há uma série de pessoas, isso é bom sinal, que estão a sentir-se bem na cidade e que se juntam a nós e que nos enriquecem também.
You're feeling good?
I think so.
Yeah, great. So, let's hear from you. O Shay tem este projeto que é uma horta para partilhar. Vamos ouvir o Shay e a Camille Duverger.
You go, Shay.
Yeah.
Good morning, afternoon. I'm going to apologize in advance for speaking in English. Unfortunately, my Portuguese is not up to scratch and I don't want to offend anyone. My name's Shay Ola. I am the owner of a restaurant called Queimado in Lisboa. And I'm here to present a project with my partner, Cami, who is a farmer. And we hope that we can illuminate you a little bit with our project. Not working. The presentation is not working.
There you go.
Ah, cool. So the concept of farm to table is an idea that's been gaining a lot of traction and popularity in the restaurant world. I think it's something that most chefs and most restaurants aspire to have, the ability to grow your own produce and serve it to your customers, and to be able to really explain and to show the traceability of this product. There are a few very established restaurants that have the ability to either have their own farms and land, or to have very strong relationships with suppliers where they can actually get produce grown for them and they're able to document the whole process. For smaller restaurants, I feel that this is something that's very difficult to achieve. It's more of a dream than it is possible, a reality. But I believe that it's actually possible for restaurants, smaller restaurants, to be able to actually grow their own produce in an affordable and in a sustainable way.
Right. So my background is in sustainable and organic farming. I specialize in making small-scale farming sustainable economically through diversifying their incomes and food processing. In the south of France, in Nice, I have created an organic vegetable farm using biointensive farming. Biointensive farming is a technique that consists of producing more on a smaller space thanks to manual labor. Soil fertility is maintained through limited tillage, minimal disruption of the soil structure, and by bringing input of the local organic matter to feed worms and microorganisms. These techniques use custom tailored designs and a holistic approach to maximize yield, create microclimates, and reduce land erosion. I strongly believe this model of farming is the future, and it's particularly suitable for small restaurants that cannot afford to work with bigger farms. On my farming project, I work with several restaurants that had developed their very own growing space. They were highly motivated, but they were limited in their knowledge of agriculture. They had many questionings on how to set up their system and how to better it, and they could have better system, more efficient systems, and they could have found better ways to manage their time as a restaurant in a growing place.
For me, owning my own piece of land or having some land that I could grow my produce has been something that I've been sort of aiming and wishing for a long time. There was definitely like a skills gap in terms of my expertise and my knowledge. And it was always something that at a certain point in my business, it would be like we would get a farm and then we would grow produce and we would do all this other stuff. And then COVID came along. And that really kind of like, I think for me, changed how I viewed my business, how I even viewed my life. Certain things I realized I couldn't just put off onto the future and that things needed to be done now. The changes that I felt needed to be in the industry needed to happen now. And I decided that I was gonna take the leap. I was very fortunate that I know Cami, I knew her background and her experience in farming, and also the experience that I had working with people like Pedro Abril from before, where restaurants and chefs were coming together in a very collaborative way to support each other and to really sort of like figure out how we could navigate this COVID situation and make changes to our business models that would allow us to survive and to thrive even in very kind of difficult times. And that to me was a very kind of positive and empowering thing. With the second wave of COVID, the more the implications of my business and my costs and my overheads and how from a financial perspective, I could keep the business going with all of the problems that we were facing, made me realize that I had to look at my kind of supplier bill, how much I was spending on the quality produce that I wanted to give to my customers versus the benefit of actually growing my own produce and kind of trying to keep some of that savings for ourselves as a business and as a restaurant. So I found a piece of land. It was relatively affordable. And when we sort of started to do the maths behind it, it's actually very profitable as well. The land that we found ultimately was much bigger than I, as a single restaurant, could use. And then the idea of sharing the space with other restaurants kind of like clicked in my head. I mean, we have already put the infrastructure in place. We've done most of the work, which would put off other restaurants from doing a similar kind of thing. And, you know, in the spirit of collaboration and community, our idea is to kind of create a space where a group of restaurants can come together around a piece of land, grow the produce that they need, share resources, share expertise, and kind of exist in a way that at the moment it's not easy to find. I don't know.
Doesn't matter. How?
The house. Okay. But no, we have a really cool image and it's gone. I don't know. So basically we have our project Dirty Farms. There we go. That's it. Which one? Oh, sorry. Backwards. There we go. I had it wrong the whole time. Thank you. So basically, this is our project, Dirty Farms. The Dirty Hands, sorry, it's not a dirty farm, it's a very clean farm. And the idea is like, we want to kind of create a system where restaurants can come together, we can grow produce and reduce our carbon footprint, and the infrastructure built around it is designed to kind of encourage restaurants to have a kind of a zero waste element as well. And we have, whether it's a shared electric vehicle that we use to do deliveries, to collect waste, to kind of generate composting. We have a well, we have solar panels. So the aim is to be kind of carbon neutral.
Yeah. So Dirty Hands, as Shay said, is a circular economic business that employs sharing and recycling to create a closed loop system. So indeed, it's a communal growing system. We grow food together, harvest the food at the peak of its freshness, and deliver the produce with a communal electrical van. As we deliver, we collect the organic waste of the restaurants and return it to the farm to put it in our composting system, thus completing the circular loop. Vegetables and quantities of vegetables are grown according to the restaurant's needs, and Dirty Hands is also a project that helps pollution because of this renewable energy system and the carbon sequestration just by growing the plants.
And when is now. The project is in its pilot stage, and we are going to start reaching out to restaurants to become a part of it. And we hope that you guys can follow our journey. Thank you very much. There's Paolo. Ciao.
Thank you very much.